What's up, everybody? It's me. It's Friday night, so that means you get to listen to my annoying voice. But tonight, I am joined by a couple of special guests. Back by popular, well, I've been asked so many times about the witching hour-ish thing that we did 2 weeks ago. Everyone loved it. Everyone had a fun time with it, including two of my guests who are back this evening. Sam and Casey are back, and another special guest, which I will show right now. The one that's very relaxed is you. There she is. Good morning. Oh, I can't unmute you. You did it yourself. There she is. For those of you who don't know who the one below me over here next to Casey is, that's my wife, Mackenzie, aka Blue. That's what I get. I get a tongue out.
You said I can't do the other thing.
Okay, that works too. Warren area. Uh-oh, that's Scott. Hi, Scott. How are you tonight, brother?
Oh no, it is Scott.
D. Scott.
Hi, Scott.
The brick house, Scott. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Scott had a green screen a while back, and he had brick kind of set up, and he held the green screen up so it looked like he was a big brick house thing. It was great. How are you ladies doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Oh, we have a musical guest. That was Sam. Sam's gonna entertain us, not with her words, but also with music. She's gonna serenade us.
I don't know who the artist is about this, so I don't know who this artist is, so I don't even know what music my boyfriend is playing. He's not even in the room. I don't even know why he left this on.
Might want to pause it due to copyright claims.
Yeah.
Oh, doing good.
Yeah, if this is on YouTube, it'll get flagged for copy.
Yep. I'll be right back. I'm gonna pause that.
All right, sounds good. Scott, I feel you on that one. I'm gonna show that. It's been a long day for Scott, isn't it all? It's been a long day for me as well. Been a long
I didn't
couple
do
days.
anything today. I went to the mall.
Yeah,
well, we went to the mall.
Yes.
These two ladies are hanging out. We're hanging out for a while before I got home from work. I just got home. And if those of you who watch my videos regularly, Scott, you probably noticed two of the backgrounds here look a little familiar. The ladies below me here, over here, wherever they are, this direction, they are actually in the room upstairs, Mackenzie and I's bedroom, and I'm down in the basement.
So if he gets to be too much for y'all, we can come downstairs and beat him up.
That's not this type of video. Blue will just do it just because. See, look at that smile. She knows. Paying attention to wow.
Turn down the light to 50%.
Now she's showing off.
It didn't affect the screen at all.
Scott has wildfires less than 2 minutes away. Scott, are you all right? I don't know what Sam's seeing, but if you guys look on the right side of your screen, there's a couple little things you can see the comments. That's where I've been seeing all this. But yes, Scott said he has wildfires less than 2 miles or 2 minutes away from him. I hope you're all right, Scott. Either that or cooking some really awesome s'mores.
I hope he has the marshmallows ready.
Right? And did a lot of yard work, tired. Let's see. Yeah, I'm a little outnumbered tonight. I'm not going to repeat that. Because if I repeat it, I'm going to get hurt.
Really, Scott?
Next time I see you, I'm gonna hurt you.
Me or Scott?
God,
Okay.
Yeah, could go either way.
both of you.
Ah, crap. Well, I'm sleeping in the basement tonight, folks. Okay, so there's
Where are
three
you gonna
people.
sleep on the new doors?
No, your chair.
You can't sleep on that. Your back can't take it.
Watch me. See? Literally watch. Ready? Just kick
I'm
back.
waiting for it to fall over backwards.
There you go.
You will.
Okay, so
He'll roll and he'll roll.
if you are new to this stream, I'm sorry. But if you're new, I like to keep this if you haven't. No, I did not. Scott's lying. I'm going to hide that.
No.
Hide that comment. How do I hide that? If you're new to this, please say hello. I like to keep these shows very interactive, a lot of fun.
I don't care who did what to whoever or said whatever to whoever. I don't care. I'm one of those people that I'll hurt both people. I don't care.
I will attest to that.
What was the
And
discount?
it looks like the ladies have their own special guest.
I am the violence.
The ladies
And
below
who's
me
the
have
sickness?
they have their own special guest behind them.
Nut is the sickness.
They get the cats tonight. No, actually that's a lie. I have one around here. I can't tell which one it is. But anyway, so as asked, we are doing part 2 of Witching Hour-ish. So we talked about a lot of random things as usual.
Note to everybody. I was not here for that. I was at work, so I don't know what was said.
Don't worry, we didn't say hardly any mean things about you.
All good things,
You-
all good things. Mostly
Will you
said by
guys-
Matt.
No, will you guys stop trying to get me in trouble?
He's literally
Listen,
only
no.
right downstairs. It won't take me much to walk down the stairs.
No, let's not. Let's not. This isn't supposed to be violent. And Scott, you're 3.5 hours away. You don't have a say in this. But anyway, for those of the people who actually came to talk about the topic, so we just went over basically different religious backgrounds you two ladies have. So let's get filled in with Mackenzie. That feels weird. You know what? I'm just going to call her
Well-
Umbreon. That's what I call her. And there's her book. Umbreon is Wiccan.
Fuck.
See, look. She's got the books to prove it.
Fuck.
I don't own a single witchy book except for one by Bree.
Fucks.
There's the proof. So, what kind? I know. Oh, I understand this question, but for those who don't, Umbreon, what kind of Wiccan are you?
Like elemental wise, or just like magic?
Just describe your Wicca background, like who you are as a witch.
Well, my 2 elements are fire and earth, so I can work with either element. Fire mainly because I have the smoky quartz, and
Which we-
also the stone that gives me the most energy is a lava stone. So there's that.
Which we talked about stones a little
That
bit.
A rock, witches love rocks.
Which we talked a little bit about. I believe we talked about that 2 weeks ago, right? Right, Casey and Sam?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to get a little more in depth on that that side of the witchcraft. If you guys don't mind, I'm just gonna call it like witchcraft, and I'm gonna use generic terms just to kind of help people.
No, it's called bitchcraft. Get it right.
And there we go. That didn't take long. Hey, she made it almost 10 minutes. Yeah, Mackenzie Umbreon doesn't really
Scott's
have
in the
books.
corner there saying that everyone must get stoned.
I
No,
agree with that. I second that motion.
You see, now that would require Umbreon to come downstairs and throw rocks at me. Let's not do that. Oh crap!
Only requires
Oh, that kind of
This?
stuff. I
No.
thought we were talking
No,
about
And
gender stuff.
no, no. All right, guys. Have a nice video. Have a nice night.
Oh
See ya.
my gosh. That's what it requires.
I didn't bring my stoning rocks today. Those are packed away in the closet. It's not stoning season yet.
No,
It's
I
not
was
warm
actually
enough.
going to bring my stone collection with me. I'm like, we probably won't talk about rocks today.
But-
Well, now look what's happening.
But
I'm
I
underprepared.
am a light Wicca that dabbles in dark. Dabbles is the key word there.
So you're gray.
I like that word, dabbles. That's a fun word
Very,
to say.
very little. I dabble in
You're,
dark
It's
light.
po-
so you're off-white.
Yeah.
It's poquito.
I don't
Umbreon the Gray.
sacrifice things to Satan or make deals with the devil. That's stupid. Don't do that.
I know.
Uh-huh.
The demon
Yeah.
baby's not worth it.
There you go. Scott helped clarify what he was talking about.
Nothing. Nothing that I'm
Much
legally allowed to
disappointment on my
say.
end. Much disappointment on my end.
I plead the fifth.
I'm just here.
Salem up in here.
Okay. Well, you know what? Since we're talking, we kind of were talking about rocks. I just feel this is appropriate. There we go. So, anyway, so Umbreon, you said that you were an earth element and fire element. Now, some people don't understand what that means. So, could you
Mostly
explain a
fire.
little bit what that means and how did you come about finding out what you were?
Experimentation.
That's a great word to use around me. You should know this. But like, what do you mean? Like, how did you? Like, what did you do to figure it out?
I set a candle on fire.
That's what you do with candles. You don't spritz them with water and wait for something to happen.
I set a candle on fire and then made the flame grow with just my hand and energy. So I kind of figured that made me a fire element. And
Okay.
then also I like to be outside. And so that kind of led me to the earth element because I like hiking and being around nature and the dirt. So
You ever do that thing where you're trying to pick out, you find a plant that for whatever reason it draws your attention and you touch it and you can kind of feel personality from it?
yes.
Yep, I do the same thing.
Also, I do have a familiar. It was. Hold on, I have a picture.
My familiar's back home, probably annoying the hell out of my fiance. I have a black cat that picked me.
For all those who don't know what a familiar is it's an animal. It is an animal that helps you with your witchcraft or whatever you're doing spiritually. This was my familiar.
Princess.
She is now dead, sadly. She passed away a while ago. But I have a new familiar who is technically a reincarnation of her.
Mm-mm.
But she doesn't like to be called my familiar. She likes to be called my spirit guide. And I can feel her staring at the back of my head, ready to hit me.
Yeah, a familiar can be a spirit that is close with you or an animal. Weird noises.
I wonder
In
whose
my
phone
case,
that
mine is
was.
still a live cat. Doesn't have to be a cat, it can be any animal. I've known people. I know Sam's boyfriend. I've been brought up the existence of techcraft is one of the newer forms of witchcraft out there, where you primarily work with electronics and use technology and the internet to deal your intent out.
Don't like that.
And he jokingly calls his cell phone his familiar,
Yeah.
which I
he,
guess
he,
in a weird way can work.
he claims that he likes to slap my butt with his phone all the time, and I say that he calls his phone Esteban, and I'm like, Esteban did not consent. And he's like, of course Esteban consents. He is a thing of mine, so of course he consents.
I mean, the internet is just a great, just one big web of consciousness joining everyone together. So it's kind of an interesting way to crowdsource energy to empower a spell.
Actually, what Scott says is true.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Scott had an interesting comment, and I want to get your ladies' thoughts on this one. I hear that many times when a cat passes, that means they are done guarding you from what they were supposed to.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, there's just one thing with that. She, who is literally directly behind me because she's got her paw on the back of my head, which is why I went like this earlier. She is not done, apparently. Obviously.
Well, and see, that's the thing. If you're joining and you're not too sure on the paranormal, what's really wonderful is a lot of these things are just theory. There's really no yes or no concrete, black and white answers. It's just a theory out there. The one example I use is
in the Tumblr community, the witches talk a lot about UPG, unverified personal gnosis.
Yeah. Well, what I like to use is the analogy. Like, I could sit here and tell you every ghost is purple. Is that true?
No, there's no proof that every ghost is purple.
Yep, but there's no truth. There's no proof that they're not, though. So
my house is haunted.
Let's not say this right now. I'm in the hot zone. Let's not say this.
Yeah, you are. Of where they all commune in the basement of my house for some reason.
Anyway, something we don't do very often on my shows. Let's get back on topic real quick. So, Sam, you've been the quiet one tonight. Same question, if you remember. What about you? Do you have an element that you practice with, that you follow, and how did you come about
it? My primary element is water. My secondary is earth. At first, when I started along my journey, I thought my primary element was earth. I went to school for landscape and floral design. So I did landscaping, I did floral design, I did greenhouse. I did a whole bunch of other different things like public speaking and other stuff. Other unrelated plant stuff while in that course. But at first I thought my primary element was earth, and then water. In my later high school years, water kind of became like being in the bath, being in the shower kind of became a refuge. And the water is like really calming, and water fits more my personality. Water is like adapting, changing to the current situation, and that's kind of what I do. I adapt, I change to what's needed of me. So I took water kind of chose me, and water is my primary. So yeah.
All right, that's cool. Casey, you're up. You're in the hot seat.
My primary element that I came upon is wind or air, and my secondary is earth. The wind and earth kind of went hand in hand because as a kid, I used to tell my mom what the weather was going to be for the day by asking questions to the wind and watching how it moved a tree for the answer. And she couldn't explain it, but I was usually right. And I would, tell jokes to the wind, and I didn't have an imaginary friend, I had the wind. I enjoyed the way it made the trees dance and how it seemed to be playful at times and angry at others and happy at others, just in the way it moves the things around it.
So kind of like and I hate, aging myself. It was kind of like the Disney movie Pocahontas. The wind has its own spirit and everything.
You're not really aging yourself when a lot of us are relatively close to your age.
Yeah. I just turned 30 on April 1st, so.
I'm only 9 years younger than you.
But I feel 90. Anyway, so what I'm getting at, though, ladies, is there's obviously multiple elements. How many are there, and what are they?
4, typically. There is a 5th that some would say is the human spirit and just what ghosts are made out of in general.
5 points.
Yep. There's water, earth, wind, and fire, which I know sounds like an old band, but
if you've ever watched the Scooby-Doo movie with the what the fuck's that band called with the Vampire Sisters?
I don't know. I was referencing Earth, Wind, and Fire, but
No, they have a song about that.
there's also
And
the Four Seasons.
it's
The only one that
in
movie that's coming to mind is Hocus Pocus.
no,
Or
it's a
no.
Scooby
Oh,
Doo
wait.
movie.
Oh, Scooby Doo. I don't know. I was thinking of
My
the
brother
Craft.
saw it too, but I don't remember.
The Hex Sisters song, Earth, Wind, Fire, and Air.
Oh, okay. So, from the sounds of it, you three have all four.
I know it's sometimes considered to be a big, like, impressive thing amongst witches who work with covens. That to be.
Thanks, Scott. I figured that out. Thanks, Del.
I know it's considered amongst some, witchy study groups or religious groups called covens to be able to work for one individual to be able to equally work with all five elements. Which
Okay.
I guess it's versatile, but
It's usually a witch of a higher level.
Yeah.
At least like what some people would consider a priest or like a witch doctor or like you a pastor.
Yeah.
That is what the top leader of a coven is.
Oh, yeah.
and they can usually work with all the elements
They
equally.
can, for the most part, they still work with their main two, but they can work with all of them fairly well. Which is eventually what I would like to achieve.
Well, before we move on, I want to.
I'm not centered enough for that, though.
I want to highlight what Scott said. Be like water making its way through cracks. Do not be assertive, but adjust to the object, and you shall find a way through it.
Is that a quote from something?
Yes.
Why am I thinking Jackie Chan?
It's not.
I think I have a Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan quote about water somewhere on my phone that I saved when I first started out. Let me see where it is, if I can find it. It's probably all the way at the bottom of my Google Photos.
I'm also just very hot-headed and stubborn, which is why fire and earth fit me really well.
I'm very excited.
I have a very, 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 very good.
I'm excitable and talkative and personable and very quick to express my feelings, so wind fits me well.
A lot of people, when it comes to element magic and stuff, go off of the zodiac sign, which is not correct because I am a Cancer. Therefore, by your understanding, if you go by the zodiac signs, I would be water.
I'd be fire.
Because I am a water sign, but that is not true.
I would
I'd be
be
water, fire and water because
I knew it was Bruce Lee.
Let's say Scott
I'm not very
answered.
good with astrology, but I know there's like sun signs and moon signs and planetary signs. And I just know two of mine.
I don't go into astrology with Wicca as much as I should, but I don't.
I don't even touch astrology. I don't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
It's too much. There's too much.
Right? It's hard not to learn all the Pokemon.
I had somebody when I was in high school try to teach me, and no, sorry, no.
When I was in a coven in high school, my coven leader tried to teach us, and I was just like, no, I can't do this lesson. I'm so confused. I can't do this lesson.
I've never been in a coven.
I haven't been in a coven. I've had individual teachers from different.
I learned from the people around me, but I never really settled down with a group.
I just found a Wiccan chat, which is hard to find nowadays. I found a Wiccan chat when I was younger, in middle school and through high school, and she was my main teacher. She had her own little group of witches and what they call themselves warlocks.
So before
we can, witch is a gender neutral term too. There can be guy witches.
Yeah, but the guys
we're not going to go to
themselves warlocks.
We're not going to get into genders. That's just political. No. But anyway, hi. So before we continue, because I do have some questions about that whole the whole coven thing you guys are talking about. Maybe you can help Scott out with something. Scott's been thinking about going down to the river out back. Literally, I've seen pictures. It's literally right, like it's so close. Umbreon will understand this. I don't want to go there because that's no. I'll just be fishing all the entire time. But he's thinking about looking for a small pocket stone to carry around, like a worry stone. You ladies have any suggestions for him that might help him out?
I don't do river.
When picking river rocks. Sorry, Casey. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for me, the whole worry stone concept has always been less of a magical thing and more of just a nice, pleasing texture. It settles me down, spinning thing.
I like my smoky quartz.
With me, whenever I see water, when we go somewhere, I have to go try and pick stones and bring some back. It's just it's a thing. And I actually do have a lot of my rivery type rocks that I found in my lizard tanks. But I pick up what resonates kind of with me, whatever fits my fancy, if that's what you want to call it.
Pick up a bunch of rocks, Scott. Hold them in your hand, and if you like the energy of the rock, take said rock.
If it makes you happy, take it home.
Pretty much.
I
The
didn't
same
realize you were turning
thing that
this into
goes
a pop
for
rock
dating.
special.
Yeah, it goes for rocks too.
We're not going to touch that one. No. So basically, the gist that I'm getting, ladies, is you find a stone, just any random one, and you keep trying different ones out until you get the warm and fuzzies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that
Yes.
basically okay? I just want to make sure this is right.
I
'cause
mean,
know
it can be
there's-
different for different people,
Yeah.
but since I'm more like you up there.
Oh, you're
Oh.
I'm still not used to directions.
The paranormal consultant.
Who's that? Oh, wait, me.
Yeah,
right.
because I'm not in the paranormal consultant, even though I am for Wiccan and other reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not part of the page.
Loving the hair flip. That was awesome.
But yeah, I'm more like you, so I rely on my energy a lot.
Well,
If I pick up a rock and it has nice energy and it matches with my energy, I take rock.
For people who have a connection to the earth element, even if it's not even your secondary, you could have a tertiary.
Now what's
I
that?
think water is my third one because I like to swim and I like to be in the
Mhm.
shower and I like
For
to
a lot of people who are really more deeply connected to the earth element like that, it seems like you can just touch something natural like a plant or a stone or even metals and just sort of feel like almost a personality coming from it.
Oh, okay.
Or it might make your fingers tingle a little. It could just be you have sensitive skin, but it could also be that you are picking up on something about that says, hey, take me home. Because
So
I will
you
admit there's a lot about the elements in witchcraft that could be psychology, but
There's
So
a lot of
if you're
psychology
looking-
involved with witchcraft, but I don't want to go into that.
yeah, everything has a mundane explanation that you should probably look into first. But if you do have it in you to try and push beyond the mundane, by all means.
you just gotta watch out
The philosophy behind it is for a different video with one of me and Newt's other friends. Because he's a philosophy student and he wants to delve into Matt's religion more and my religion more.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's for another video.
I was gonna say if somebody wants to, I mean, I try not to, and I don't want to go like have religious wars or political wars.
Well,
here
you
on my
and
page, but-
you and Brian have basically the same view. You're both Christian.
Yeah.
But he wants your view on it as a pastor, and he wants my view into Wicca as basically a level 2 witch.
Well, then let's ask the audience.
There
What's
are
that?
levels actually. If you go to like a free online school, there's different levels of Wicca.
Well, then
As you go up
let's
the
ask
chain.
everybody. Is that
Sorry.
is that a video
Mhm.
everybody would want to see? Everybody. We'll wait for the comments. Let the comments decide.
You're
have it out.
saying everybody, but it's just Scott. So Scott, is this
No,
a video
there's
you wanna see?
there's actually 4 people. There's 4 people
Hopefully,
watching.
my cousin Olivia is one of the people watching. If she is, hi Olivia.
There's somebody on. Yeah, I'm calling everybody out right now. There's somebody on Twitch watching. There's 2 on Facebook, and there's 1 on YouTube. And I know who the YouTuber is, Scott. It's kind of obvious. But if you guys are watching, as always, say
The
hello.
icon next to his name.
We like to
Just
have
show
fun.
where
We
they're
like to joke around, and we like to keep this interactive. So if you have any questions for the ladies or myself at any time, by all means, just put them in the chat. We'll see them.
But anyway,
So I did find that Bruce Lee quote that I had in mind. That,
okay.
Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. If you put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. If you put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Water can flow or it can crash. Be like water.
Well, I already have step 1. Mind empty. Done. Nothing in there. But
Head empty.
so there is some concerns apparently that Scott's having about the whole. We're going back to the stone stuff. What if he holds too many and it holds him underwater? Then he's trapped. Then what?
Really?
don't hold too many. Pick them up one at a time. Are
We
you
have
picking up a boulder? Is that what you're doing?
That's nasty.
No, I just hit it with the car.
Because of that.
Are you picking up a boulder?
So anyway, so I want to go back to you ladies were talking about like covens and stuff. Is there a difference from like being in a coven to being solo? Like, does it make a difference in practice?
Yes.
Or
Well, with a coven, you have basically a small troop to help empower you and help you learn more thoroughly.
Oh, it's not even that. There's rituals that can only be done with at least 4 to 5 people. Because for some rituals, you need all 5 elements. And if you aren't a person that can deal with all 5 elements, including spiritual, but the main 4, no.
You're out of luck.
You're out of luck.
so
A lot of my workings are very small. Like, at this point, I've become a very lazy witch. A spell for me anymore is dinner plus intent. Which is kitchen witchery, so
I mean, technically, there's 3 of the main 4 here.
well,
I have a
Scott
medium, so there's that too.
Scott answered your boulder question, ladies. Yeah, Scott, you and I share that one. Only sometimes I use my car.
You and Matt have fun with that. I'm not saving you.
Enjoy your hernias.
Yeah.
Not saving you.
I can see it now, Scott. If you lived closer, you and I would have the bad ideas, and then we just build off each other to make them worse.
Moonwash.
Although
I've heard of that, but I've never done it.
Is that when you're naked under a full moon and just wash outdoors?
Do you mean by like moon cleansing, like putting something under the moon to charge it or to cleanse it? I think that's
I've
what
made
you might
moon
mean.
water before.
If that's what you mean, Scott, even I know that one. But no, actually, you can do it either through the moon or you can do it through the sun. Actually, depending on the stone, obviously, will affect whether or what happens to it. Some stones react to the sun better than others, like Umbreon's amethyst that the cat stole. If it's a protection stone like
Also,
that,
my lava stone, which magically disappeared, and I think the cats also stole that.
probably.
And they keep trying to steal my smoky quartz, which also activates in the sun.
And I can
Well,
do
I am
fun
a
little
solar
trick,
witch with being a fire element, not a lunar.
but you hate the sun.
No, the sun hates me. There's a difference.
I
Not
lean
true.
either way.
The sun
There
is
are more
light.
spells. There are spells that I know that are more powerful at night, which I can
Oh,
do.
actually, we were talking about the first thing. He was talking about the first thing. And Scott, I do
That's
that.
what I thought he was talking about. That's why I said
I
I
was
heard
right.
it, but no.
I was at least halfway right.
I do that every full moon. I mean, who doesn't?
Druids.
Is that why there's reports of Bigfoot
No.
every full moon around here?
Yeah.
Druids, no. We don't talk about the druids.
No. I'll hide that.
The druids are weird.
Sam studied with some druids.
I did. I studied with some druids for a while.
Oh.
I'm not saying they're bad. They just have some weird practices that I don't understand.
I also studied with a Satanist for a while. So
Yeah, I think we talked about
whole
that.
stripping and washing themselves in the moonlight. Yeah, that's a no.
Speaking of which, when
I
is
don't
the
want
next
to get
full moon?
caught showing my blubber. people. I don't want to do that.
I don't want to get a bath in front of
I'm not
anybody.
into chunky dunking.
All right, so moving on. so let's go. Let's keep going with the stone thing because I personally get a lot of questions with it. Now, when you find your stone, you find one that gives you the warm and fuzzies. You feel energized, happy, and everything like that. What's the next step? What do you do with that?
You take the stone home.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, you might want to cleanse it when you get home just to make sure no little sneaky thing was clinging to it, like I like this rock too.
Or you have a newt that changes the color of your stone because he feels like it.
Yeah.
He made my smoky quartz not smoky for a while.
See,
How the heck?
my
It's
next
an-
step depends
it's an
on where I
energy.
get the rock. If I get a rock from a shop, I
Mhm.
tend to cleanse it before using it for anything. If it's from nature, I tend if it feels like it needs cleansed, if I take it from nature, then I'll cleanse it. But if not, then it's mine, and I will use it how I see fit.
Yeah, 'cause
Well,
that's
what
the
kind of
thing.
things do you use your stones for?
I cleanse an imprint. So everybody knows it's mine.
I imprint a little bit, and I also set them up and keep them around me for various. Like if I know that stone is good for protection during travel, that's what I'll do. I'll put it in the car. If I know it's good for warding away negative emotions because of how it's, some of them give off. Well, that's not scientifically proven, but anyway, some of them give off like negative ions or positive ions, things like that. Other ones are just prone to taking in little bits of energy, like quartz.
Okay.
So I'll use those natural properties for whatever intent I have for it. Like snowflake obsidian's good for empowering things and also warding away negativity, but it's also a really intense stone.
So to my understanding, then it depends on what you want to use the stone for, besides a paperweight. If you want,
Yeah,
something
I have
for-
a lot of mental issues, so I usually get stones that help me with that. Like I have depression, anxiety. I have dissociative identity disorder, which means I don't associate people's emotions with my own emotions or any emotion at all. So
I bet you go nuts on the black hematite.
yeah, that's one
Ooh.
of the stones that I like.
Scott, hold on to that one. That is a really good one. We'll get to that in a second. So then collectively,
into read.
we'll get to it. so how many stones, I guess, if somebody wants to have a bunch of stones together, like what's a good number to have?
Sky's the limit. They're rocks. Collect them.
Yeah.
They're free.
So pretty shiny take home type thing?
Yes.
Embrace your inner crow, goblin, or dragon. Just mine.
That's dangerous for me. Now, Sam, I know you and I met recently, but these two ladies below here know me. Shiny bad. Shiny
Shiny
leads
very
to
bad. Shiny very bad with him. Anything shiny he must have.
Shiny leads to
I never
this.
bring the rock box with me.
So
shiny
You'd be
leads
taking
to
my ruby
this.
chips.
So what you're saying is like I shouldn't show you my click clack shiny math rocks then.
No, you should.
No.
You absolutely should.
Dice are fun. They're good for divination too.
No, the one person you shouldn't show those is me because I like the click clack math dice, math rocks.
I have a little wooden treasure chest on our kitchen table for D&D night. I have a bunch of different dice in it.
Because I have dice in my thingy somewhere to play D&D. I don't know.
I still say I'm gonna replace my fiance's D20 with one of the naughty dice.
Scott, you better be careful because you keep picking. You're gonna get an invite. Oh,
I do the click clack. They make the happy feeling.
I have a set that I got when I was hanging out with Casey the other week. I got them from a shop called Second and Charles down in Harrisburg, down in the same mall as Bass Pro Shops. I got them from Serious Dice, and they are watermelon colored.
This is just the starter when I don't have any pieces for it. I need
And
pieces
they
for it.
are
I need
translucent, but they are
characters for it.
watermelon colored. And then
I also need a board.
I have a set of like acrylic dice that are red and white. I think Casey calls them. What do you call them?
What?
My red and white dice.
I'm not gonna say that because that's dirty. I'm just gonna say cherry pie and ice cream.
Well, if it's dirty, we can wait for the moon to come out, and we can all wash ourselves. Anyway,
and cleanse the shiny map.
There you go. So, ladies, now I want to jump into Scott's question. We're talking about Rick and Morty D&D. That's it. I'm just gonna sit here.
I've been itching to play D&D again, so I usually create the story.
I like D&D. Leave me alone. I got the starter kit. I haven't found anybody to play it with. I don't have a board, nor do I have pieces.
I'm a DM with all of those things and a need for players.
There you go. If you guys want to play D&D, just comment. Wait, this is my show. What's going on right now?
We are advertising D&D.
They're stealing your show.
Going on?
Sure, let's do it.
There's
Mutiny.
going on. Casey and Blue is assuming control.
Sure, why not?
Mutiny.
I'm used to it. So, ladies, I want to jump into Scott's question because I think this is one that a lot of people might.
Ooh.
I know Scott. No, stop
Yo,
it.
we should make a game where we're all playing as ghosts, trying to get a hold of this paranormal investigation team that are filming in our house.
Yeah, or we'll talk about the afterlife because I have plans. But no, I want to get to Scott's question because I think this is one that a lot of people might have, and let's just get it.
I see the word runestones in one of the questions.
We'll get there, but
runes are my thing.
Ladies, what movie
Movies, huh?
do you feel best portrays your beliefs, and what do you think is the worst?
Oh God.
The Salem Witch Trials.
Oh God, that's terrible.
Oh God.
The movie The Salem Witch Trials is the absolute worst movie ever.
That sounds unanimous.
Anything having to do with the Salem Witch Trials is basically
Terrible.
Yeah.
just terrible anti-witch propaganda.
Which I hate.
I was just going to ask. Now,
It is. I will give it this. It is interesting to watch because it does give you history, but it's absolutely terrible, and it makes me feel so sad.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, is it a historical thing, or is it more on the lines as just witch bashing, as we'll just call it?
It's a little bit of both because some of the movies aren't very historically accurate.
Okay, so let's flip it. What's the best movie that best portrays you?
Hocus Pocus.
I mean, there is that.
No, that's just witches like you two who are also
as spectacular as the movies portray. You don't see the flash boomness coming out of a stick, you know? You don't cast fireworks out of a wand, you know?
Yeah, it's not like
unless you're using a Roman candle for a wand. I mean, that's
speaking of which, if we're calling Roman candles wands, I have 2 wands outside.
I mean, you could use a bottle rocket as a wand, maybe, and then it'll do it.
It's not everybody thinks like when they think of witchcraft, they think of like Harry Potter,
or they think of
it's not
Harry Potter is is not as bad as the Salem Witch Trials, but like it's kind of
either.
It's not a good portrayal because anybody who says, "Oh, you're a witch," is that like Harry Potter? No, I don't carry around a wand. I don't do Avada Kedavra. I don't do Lumos. I can't do any of that.
Well, let me ask then. There's a movie.
Transsexual wizard.
There's a movie that I watched a while back, and I'm not talking about the storyline because obviously the storyline is going to be movie based. But what about The Craft?
I have not seen The Craft.
Is that the one where the one chick goes crazy after getting into witchcraft on the Power?
It's more or less they're in this coven. This new girl moves in, kind of like a Twilight type thing. New girl moves to town and kind of gets thrown into this coven. And they treat her like absolute crap, make her do things, stuff like that. And then she ends up being like an underdog and turns it around on them and attacks them.
I know what movie you're talking about, but Scott just said something in the chat
Yeah, I
about a
know.
judge from the Salem witch trial.
Interesting.
But no.
Who he is related to. One of the men that put thousands and thousands of innocent women to death.
It sucks because it's primarily a Puritan thing to hate witches too.
I feel so bad for you.
The Jews, a lot of the Jewish people, Hebrews specifically, a lot of their higher ups just assumed their wives were at home doing some form of witchcraft anyway, so they tolerated it. As long as you weren't a ventriloquist, because that's death worthy apparently.
I went to Salem with Matthew.
Thank you.
And it made me upset because they have a bunch of stuff, including the torture devices used on the witches and some of Jonathan's stuff, including his Bible and everything that he used, in that museum. But the tickets were sold out, so I couldn't go and see it.
I tell you what really upset me about being up there. No menthol cigarettes. I know cigarettes are bad. Just don't smoke, guys. Seriously,
They're illegal up there. They do not.
They are illegal.
They are illegal.
Fun fact for the day: they are illegal.
In Massachusetts, in the state of Massachusetts, menthol cigarettes are illegal. You cannot have them.
Yeah,
Because they taste
I was taking
because the pretty coloring on the packaging apparently makes people want to smoke, according to the governor of Massachusetts.
She's not lying.
That's what the lady in the gas station told Matt.
Yeah, I actually took a nap and was relaxing for a little bit, and I got up to Massachusetts, or we got just into Massachusetts, and I stopped at the gas station. They were illegal. Excuse me. But yeah, I couldn't believe that. Anyway, let's see. Let's just say the family line got much better. I'd say so.
I would hope so.
You're pleasantly speaking with us, so I would say so. You're not crushing us with rocks.
No, I like Scott. He's nice.
Yeah, and Scott, I was gonna say,
that's a compliment coming from me. You should appreciate that, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
I hate him less than I hate most people.
Yeah.
You're tolerable, but
yeah, that's me. That's me going up to somebody that I particularly find tolerable. Ha! You're tolerable. I like you.
she just fed me, and that was game over. But let me ask you ladies this, and Sam, you've been quiet for a little bit, so I want to ask you first. If somebody wants to get in, I don't want to say involved, but wants to start researching Wicca, where would they start?
Oh goodness, there's a bunch of books recommended to me. Blue might know what book I'm talking about. It's by something Scott. It's like a Wicca encyclopedia. I know the cover is like green.
There's a book called a Wikipedia, which is hilarious.
Oh, I don't remember the name of the book.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just bought that for Blue for.
I know
Christmas?
what book you're talking about. It's the next book in my list of books to get.
Just avoid Silver Raven Wolf.
Yeah,
there's a lot of discourse around her.
Yes.
I'm not saying you can't, read her by accident and get some ideas, but make sure when picking books to always find as many sources as you can. Help yourself formulate the correct ideas.
The easiest way to look up books that you will need and or want is to either A, go on Amazon or look it up on Google and research Wiccan books. But make sure they're credible authors, because you do not want people that only have one book and have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You want to make sure they have at least 5 books.
At least 5. Is that like a magic number, or?
That's the number I've found with a lot of authors. This one in particular has at least 6 books.
Generally indicates they know enough about what they're talking about that
to write multiple books.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like look at their resume before you buy any of their stuff type thing.
Yeah, if it says they only have 2 books, they have not done enough research.
as with anything that you're starting up new, get as much information as you can, read as much as you can, study, study, study. Why do you have a coat hanger?
I don't know. I found
It's tiny.
Hey, those are from my. That's from my. No, wait, let me see that.
I made it in the bookshelf.
I don't know. That looked familiar.
Attacking me.
So let's see. Finally, a question that I can answer too. How do you feel about someone who practices Wiccan can help a paranormal team? Do you think
That's
it's a
all
good
you.
matchup?
That's
Honestly,
all you.
Honestly, Scott, I actually like. How do I say it? I don't want to say a variety, but a slew of backgrounds. Wiccas, I've had them on my team. I've worked with a lot of Wiccas. Wait, she's there. That one, this one, this one, this one. There, that one. I've done a lot with her in the paranormal. I love them. I love the variety. I like the fact because it brings a whole new element, like literally and figuratively, like the stonework, different spells for protections. The more the merrier, I say. So I feel if you have somebody who practices, first of all, me personally, I say make sure they're into light Wicca, not the dark stuff, because the dark stuff can be very dangerous.
Actually,
I have told people about my foray into the darker side of the spectrum and how it bit me.
the book I showed earlier, the witchcraft book, the magic spells and potions, has dark spells in it. One of them is how to make a deal at the crossroads by sacrificing a black chicken.
Oh, that's
Don't
right. We were
do
talking
that.
about that.
No.
Yeah, it is.
It's a spell. It's apparently a spell for good luck and fortune, as in
Yeah.
money.
If I need good luck and fortune, I use a clover, a handful of dried clover, some dried marigolds, and also some yellow chrysanthemums.
And besides that, guys, it's so hard to find a black chicken anymore.
Black chickens are actually expensive. Like the pure black chickens that are black all the way down to their bones are at least $500 to $1,000 for a full-grown animal, and at least $200 a chick.
Because it's black all the way down to its bones, like its feet, its wings, its bones, everything is black, and that's the kind of chicken you need to do a sacrificing ritual like that.
Does it taste better?
No, it
Does
just
it all
tastes
dark meat?
Yeah,
Tastes a little.
Well,
tastes a little
the
burnt.
meat itself and the skin itself is actually black.
Like
No,
every bit of it is black. That's why they're so expensive.
And they
But
taste
I've
burnt.
heard when you cook them though from chefs that it's extremely juicy, which is weird.
I mean, so is duck, but
I was watching a video the other day about like 20 foods only the rich people can afford, and the pure black chickens were one of them. And they're like, oh yeah, it's like $500 to $1,000 per animal, sometimes like upwards of $2,000 depending on lineage, and it's like at least $200 for a chick.
Another thing I wanted to touch on before we get off topic too, with the how witches,
a male and a female, and then you don't have to buy another one. Spend the $400 and get a male and a female and mate them, and you don't have to get another one.
Another thing I wanted to touch on, other than black chickens being delicious, apparently, was another reason that it's good sometimes to look outside of your own religious comfort zone and practice comfort zone, because let's face it, witchcraft or things that can be considered witchcraft, can be utilized by a variety of faiths. Again, there's even atheist witches out there. As oxymoronish as that sounds, it's not.
How does that work?
It's a practice, not necessarily.
No, that's true.
They basically just use the practice. They don't classify themselves as witches. They still classify themselves as atheists, but they collect the stones and do spell jars and everything like that any other witch would do. They just don't want to classify themselves as a witch.
Yeah. But let's face it, the whole existence is just like one big ecosystem. As much as a spider would eat a fly, as much as a lion would happily prey upon a human being out in the savannah, there are spirits that would prey on each other and even on us. Not everything is going to be evil. Some things are just moralists. They're not good, they're not bad, they just exist and do what they must to continue existing.
Yeah, that's a poltergeist.
There's also spirits from other cultures that, you can flaunt your cross at a Japanese yokai as much as you want, and it's
Oh.
going to look at it and go, "Why do you want me to see the letter T so badly?"
I got one.
It's not going to know to associate that with something that it should fear.
I got one.
So you technically, it helps to bring lots of different cultural views, lots of different religions, lots of different practices into your team to cover all your bases.
So then let me ask, ladies. So you get your books. You find a good author. You get their books. You get their collection. You find a bunch of stones. Where would you say would be a good spot for a beginner witch to start? Like, what kind of spells and stuff like that would be the best?
I started with simple sigils.
I started dabbling with stuff to turn my luck around because at the time of me starting, I call it my journey because it's a journey. It's a always constantly learning. You're never done learning. I call it my journey. But at the start of my journey,
Please don't knock my stuff down, Masu.
I had just come out of a really rough time at the start of my journey. I had both quit school and started at a new school, so I was a dropout and then ended up going to like a whole different school. I was in a completely new area. I had moved to Coatesville, Pennsylvania, to finish out my last year and a half of school. So like I started to do stuff to may help me feel more comfortable in my environment.
Consult your wisdom tea.
Because moving from like I grew up
Self-love and empowerment.
in kind of in the area I'm at now instead of Shamokin, I grew up in Ashland.
Okay.
Moving from Ashland to Coatesville is kind of a culture shock.
Yeah, I know where Coatesville is.
That was a very big culture shock. So what I did was stuff to help, turn my luck around, help me make friends, to help me deal with to help me deal with the new environment and everything that goes with it.
Okay. So let me ask, what kind of spells should a newbie be looking for? Like protection?
Spelljars are really easy to start out with.
Well, give me 1 second, ladies. Somebody wanted, let's just say, I want to get his 2 cents. I want to put this man
What's
on
up,
the
Here comes
spot.
Scott.
I don't know why he felt I need to be part of this, but I made a little joke on the side, and I guess he's feeling like maybe I should jump in and say it, but I'm not going to do it.
No, I'm just no.
Maybe off cam, you could let them know what was said.
Oh yeah, no, I will share that.
They look
Okay.
totally lost. Like, what the hell is he doing here?
So, Sam, this is Scott. This is the infamous Scott. This
Hi,
is
Sam.
Scott, the guy who was also on my TikTok chit chatting a bit.
Yes.
Oh, look at you! Speaking of TikTok, I just got a notification.
It's nice to hop on with you, ladies, and Matt.
Yeah, I'm
Matt's
here
not
too.
important. We ignore Matt.
Yeah, I'm not here. Don't mind me, guys.
This is a mutiny.
I look forward to more content from you, Sam.
I will be posting more stuff soon. I'm at the home stretch of recovery from the COVID, so
The vid.
yeah. So I should be posting more stuff soon. Hopefully I'll be going back to work next week. Hopefully I'll get my negative.
I mean, I have a TikTok and a Facebook, but neither of them have to do with the paranormal. I have a video about witch talk, and it's explaining the book. That's it.
Well, if your husband would be nice, he could share it for you.
My TikTok is World of Warcraft stuff and role playing. Eventually, I'm gonna do.
He just goes away for a moment.
If you've ever watched like a Sword Art Online abridged or like Dragon Ball Z abridged, I'm hoping to do something like that really soon with like World of Warcraft, like Warcraft abridged.
Oh, I'm definitely watching that.
I've done stuff with like Has Been Hodel and Hell of a Boss, which actually I got scared today, and you saw me get scared. today because I saw something on YouTube about Hell of a Boss from a Fizzy Pop fan page that they
Oh,
said
no.
episode 5 was out. So I was like, no, it wasn't announced. It
No,
can't
it's
be out
not.
yet.
No, it's not a no.
So it's not. I checked her official page. It is not out yet. It's somebody just fucking.
That's
Anyway.
that. Now, I noticed like you guys touch on the astrology as I was getting ready to ask that. That was pretty cool how you guys kind of read my mind.
We're that good.
You are. Why, hi.
I can't hear no more. I'm deaf.
Huh?
So,
Fucking Matt's intro was so damn loud.
you hear that? You don't like his intro?
I like his
I love
intro. I
his
just don't
intro.
like how loud it sounded on my computer.
Okay.
I
Well.
just figured all this crap out. If you think for a second I know how to do a volume,
I'll do it for you.
okay.
Leave it to a woman.
I have no clue.
So that was cool, and I was kind of thinking about the whole astrology side of things and such. I was going to ask if you felt the astrology signs matched up with what you guys practice.
Oh, I was gonna say, Casey, should I run?
I mean, is it like what about like the Chinese zodiac sign and things? Do you think that would match up more? Or?
I'm a pig.
I am a tiger.
I'm Aries the ram, and then I'm also a goat. So I'm just goats all the way down.
My pig does not match my crab.
Big crabs.
Everybody that just tuned in was like, "What
I
the
mean,
hell?"
bacon and crab goes deliciously together.
You're right.
See,
You right.
My sun sign is Aries, and my moon sign is Virgo. And I believe it or not, I tend to lean towards the more of a Virgo tendency.
No, I'm a Leo through and through.
But I
I'm
can't
definitely a
on my
Cancer.
Aries side.
I have the temperament to be a Cancer, and the emotional stability to be one as well.
Like a growth or
See, that's where my my Aries side just like fired this boom. I'm ready and
we
Full
Aries
force
are the
energy.
types who wake up and go, "I'm gonna cause problems on purpose." Eee!
I don't wake up doing that.
I don't
But-
wake up doing that, but I wake up like, oh, please let somebody cause a problem today. I'm ready to fight somebody today.
Which,
That's
speaking
me.
of causing,
Even though I'm a Cancer, that is me.
speaking of causing problems, somebody here caused an issue for one of his coworkers I saw the other day.
Oh, me. Oh,
Yeah,
you.
you.
TikTok.
If you
How
didn't
did
see
you
it,
like that scream?
I was honestly expecting, like, just to set everything up. He talked about, I forget what the title was, but something about, did you hear that scream, or what did you think of that scream? And I'm thinking, knowing Scott, something paranormal. I thought maybe it was just an ambient scream somewhere. No, this guy right here was hiding in his bus that I don't know if he was driving or.
Let me set it up.
Yeah, go for it. You know more about it than I do.
I generally I drive myself to work. That weekend, Saturday, there's only 3 drivers, and I was one of them. And that day I should have been clocking in after everybody else. So when they came to work, they didn't see my car because I didn't have it. So they didn't know I was there. So I hit on my coworker's bus in a dark garage with everything dark and couldn't see me. And all I said was, "Good morning." I mean,
Oh, and the
that's
scream.
so
Oh, and the scream that ensued.
bad.
That
I mean,
that
I
was
did kind of
borderline.
rush her and like,
No, Scott, that was borderline evil, and I'm so proud of you.
thank you.
It almost made me want to try the same thing on Umbreon, but I like living.
Mhm.
Do you want to get punched in the nuts? Because that's what'll happen to you.
See, I like those too. I
That's
like
cool.
where they're at.
Mm.
I mean,
Why
some
do
guys are
women
into
go
that,
right
but
through that?
Matt is not one of them.
Wait, what? What
And
happened?
here I was told to stay family friendly. My gosh.
I'm
No,
not family friendly, which is exactly why I told him I shouldn't be on this if he wants it family friendly.
all bets are off now. Scott's here. We don't know what we're going to talk
I don't know
about.
about that.
I'm not family friendly at all.
Listen to this.
Oh my
Did
god.
you hear that?
That's the audio from the video. Tell me that scream isn't impressive.
That
I
sounds
was so
like a
happy.
scream from a horror movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
it does. Or
doesn't
one of
it?
those safety whistles going off.
You know
It
that.
was.
Well, you know
I've
where.
got her one other time, but I wasn't on camera. She thought she ran me over. She screamed for that one too.
You're an evil man, Scott. That's why you and I get along so well.
Don't worry, we could teach each other. Like you were saying, good thing it's probably best we are not close to each other because
Chaotic neutral.
Oh, that's okay. Matt, you met Kenny, Newt, my manager Kenny at Harvard.
Oh yeah.
He scared me the other day, and I almost punched him in the stomach.
why didn't
I
you?
came around the corner with some food, and he came around the corner. And I didn't see him, and he went, yeah. And I felt I had my hand back ready to punch him in the stomach.
The last time I scared that woman, I saw my life, my cat's life, and about 6 other people. I have no idea who they are. I saw their lives flash before my eyes.
Oh,
Mhm.
it was also funny because that same day he got one of the waitresses, Abby, and Abby smacked him.
Really?
She scared him. He scared her that bad that she smacked him out of reflex.
So
So I had a question that was coming to mind. If you don't
yeah, have
mind
fun.
me asking.
You guys have fun. I'm just gonna be here.
Your show. Your best.
I'm just here, apparently.
What about these? One of the things you hear in movies and things like that is binding spells.
Those are a very real thing.
Have you guys ever used one, or?
Yeah.
And what?
No,
First,
I want
what
to,
is-
but I'm not allowed.
First, what is a
You
binding
essentially
spell?
bind someone to something they've done or to a situation they're in. Basically.
You can also use it in a romantic way to bind a partner to you. I'm not allowed to.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be an evil thing.
It's a borderline thing.
No, and Matt won't let me do it.
No.
Well,
Like,
Matt, you could let her bind you to me. I mean,
Well,
I
that
didn't
maybe.
say
Maybe.
it.
We'll,
We'll
we'll,
be
we'll,
happy together.
Oh,
we'll
God.
talk off. We'll talk off camera.
Buddies forever.
Happy together.
Thunder Buddy. Thunder Buddy.
Yes. Oh.
Like I have done a
Oh, I'm sorry,
binding
you're on
sigil
YouTube.
before.
My bad.
Like
You said
I did a
vacuum.
binding.
Scott said vacuum thunder. To suck it up. Vacuum thunder. I heard it.
Vacuum thunder to suck it up. I think that
I
joke.
thought that was.
You,
I hear
no,
vacuum
you,
thunder. I just think thunder that sucks things into itself somehow.
Thunder Buddy.
no, yeah, you
You
were,
remember what
you were,
that's
you were,
from?
yeah, and you were starting to say it, and I said no, you didn't say that. You said vacuum thunder.
That's right.
I have done binding sigils before, which a sigil is just a spell that you draw or you write. And
Well, I'm out.
as
I
you're
can't draw.
as you're putting ink to paper, you're actually focusing on your intent and what you want it to do.
Have you guys ever heard of the books? There's 7 books, I believe, called the Death Gate series.
Yeah.
It's not like spell books or anything. It's just a good read. Did I hear you say yes, Sam?
I did.
Have you read them? You did.
I've read 2 of them.
They're kind of lengthy.
Yeah, I don't read a whole lot, and with my learning disability, it's hard for me to comprehend what I read. So it's just like if I get started on a series and I don't feel like I'm interested after like the second book, I just kind of stop.
It's each novel is thick and wordy. I mean,
I've only gotten through like half of both of them. But I borrowed them from a friend, and I don't talk to that friend anymore. So
You ever thought about audiobooks with them?
thought about it.
Speaking of which, I guess I'll see if I can find them because I like listening to them when I'm driving.
You know, I actually had a question for you ladies, and this is a serious one. You guys all know I used to investigate San Diego a lot, given I lived out there. That's actually where I started my paranormal career. Now, there is a place in San Diego called the Witching Tower, or the Witch's Tower, in a place called Presidio Park. Near this, there was a pavilion that had a bunch of chalkwork. I have talked to many people about what these signs and drawings mean. I'm going to bring myself to full screen here, and I want to show you guys, and I want to get your thoughts. There's 3 pictures. Let's see here.
Oh, you didn't do it yet.
No, there you go. See if we can see that. There.
You showed that to me, and I told you I didn't know what it was. Some sort of runes and something they came up with themselves, probably. It's not a rune. Those aren't-
Not?
No.
No.
Those aren't runes around the edge. I know runes.
Okay, well, that's the first picture.
I wonder if they pulled something from freaking Magic the Gathering.
That's
No.
not. That's not Magic the Gathering.
Not at all.
No,
There's
it's not
number
Magic the
2.
Gathering, and those aren't runes.
I kind of recognize the symbol on the top.
I was just thinking the same thing.
The
Sign on-
symbol
Yeah,
on the
that
top
is-
invisible, but as far as
That symbol
I
is
know.
actually the symbol for Mars.
I wonder if they do something like I do, where they have their own shapes and meanings for things that they interpret as they draw, and they auto-drew. Which automated drawing is the same as automated writing. You're letting instinct guide your hand, basically.
That almost looks like something I think I might have seen in an
Telegram?
old Jewish from an old set of 2 Jewish spell books.
Well,
Or-
if that's the
or-
case, then Sam, you proved me right. Because I actually said that a while back. I said they look like can't think of it right now. What is the Hebrew, the old Hebrew script?
Let me see if I can.
I mean, just take it to a Jewish person and ask them, because they can still read Hebrew.
I did. I took it to a rabbi. I've taken it to a bunch of religious figures in every culture, and nobody can give me a meaning. I even
Have
said
you went to Islamic?
Yep, I went to a mosque, and I've spoken with.
You know, the couple of them look like them. I'm trying to think, and I might be wrong, but they kind of look like some of the markings I've seen on an old tarot deck that I had.
I brought my tarot deck with me today.
What's
Well,
that?
here, let me send it to you, Scott, and then Casey, I'll send it to you.
My tarot deck isn't traditional. It's
Uh,
the Kawaii tarot.
let me see if I can send it. We have a Discord. Oh, here it is, Discord.
I need to get tarot cards. I have runes, and I used to have tarots, but I'm gonna get traditional tarot cards. I don't want.
There. So,
I want to get
Sam-
ones from like Spencer's or anything.
Sam, Umbry, and Casey, I sent it to if you didn't hear it, I sent it to our chats. If you guys wanted to, take
One
a
thing
peek
I
at
will
it.
say, though, be very careful when looking at other people's sigils, because I know a lot of times, like what I do, I know I touched on TechCraft, how a lot of it is just crowdsourcing the internet for energy to power your spells.
Mhm.
I like the sigil I drew for you today for positive, energy and for luck. I associate a circle with a dot in the middle of it with eyes.
Mhm.
And eyes for me means when you view the sigil, it sips a little bit of energy from you to power the intent behind the drawing. Which I post that stuff on the internet then, where it gets seen by people, hundreds of people even in passing. In
Yeah.
which case, it just goes, mink, a little nibble here and there. So
But
you
no.
could actually be casting or empowering something just by looking at it.
Well,
That's what
to
they are, though.
give you guys the backstory on the thing. It was all one piece, and I had to cut it in 3 sections. It went literally, as you see it, left to right on the pictures that I sent. And it was, we were up there almost every night. When I was investigating San Diego, we would go almost every night. One night we went up there, nothing. Now, if you look at Presidio Park, and if you look at the Witch's Tower, you will see that there is actually a pentagram on top of this old jail cell that's there. That was not intentional. Somebody actually did. That's like graffiti, but they actually made it as out of stonework. The city just kind of left it because it's too expensive to tear down and all that crap. Well, anyway, the pavilion that's near there, we went the one night, nothing was there. Perfect, looked great. Next night went up, that was there. Third night after we went, it was gone, and it wasn't washed away because it was San Diego. It never really rained. It didn't even look like it was wiped away. It just literally vanished.
Huh.
So I was happy I got the pictures.
Someone may have been doing a ritual there for something.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the sigils and stuff would just vanish. They don't just vanish.
Now
That's one of those unexplainable things.
Now, the one thing that was odd to me, and I've dealt with good and bad covens in the past, but everyone had one thing that was similar. They all had in common was they all had wax from candles. They all had candle burnings wherever they were at. This one did not.
That's why I don't think it's a lit or anything like that, because there's no wax involved.
Do you think it could have been a spirit that did something? No?
It was literally chalk. I mean, it was a chalk drawing.
Chalk.
I mean,
as much as ghosts can throw things, they don't have enough energy to hold on to something.
What if it wasn't human? Because remember, not all things are human, not all things are animal. Sometimes there are things that have never been corporeal.
Yeah, but they still can't hold on to things. That requires a lot of energy.
If you actually look in the picture that has the hourglass looking thing, and I'll show it again.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. That one. On the very top right there, that top triangle, if you see it looks smudged, that's my finger. That's from my finger. So I checked it out. And one thing, Scott, I don't know if I ever told you. One thing we used to do is we used to carry these little vials that you got at like Dollar Tree or a dollar store. And we would put alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, water, iodine, hydrogen peroxide, and something else. We had another liquid that we would put with it. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
And citric acid. We would take citric acid and then one that had nothing in it. We would have all these little cases, and they were sample kits. And we would take little samples and put it with each one to kind of see what would happen. Normally with chalk, the citric acid would actually make it bubble a little bit. Now, what was weird was with this chalk, nothing happened. So I don't know if it was a special type of chalk, but it wasn't sidewalk chalk.
It might have been a special type of chalk, because there are some chalk that citric acid doesn't react with. I learned that in chemistry. It's something in like sidewalk chalk, and something in like chalkboard chalk that makes it react with the acid.
Young, can I get a hand?
Why
Okay.
did the lights go out?
Can I get a hand, please, Humphrey?
Because my father turned the lights out.
You're in the dark, Matt.
I always am. Hey, hi guys. I'm back.
I don't know. The darkness was an improvement.
Yeah.
What are we doing? A rave?
Don't tempt me. I have the music.
You good?
Uh-oh. No, I'm afraid of the dark.
Hey!
See, folks, we are in the same house.
Transition.
Scott said that's a good transition.
Now, remember earlier how I got you mad and you said you're going to hit him?
It was father.
I figured I had the door shut. I figured that might be a hint, but no, I'm not telling her that, Scott.
I kind of heard it.
So, Scott, do you have any more questions for these ladies?
Well, my mind kind of went to the other stuff, so
That never happens with us.
no, definitely not.
Our tangents are never distracting.
Now, I mentioned runes earlier, and somebody said they like runes.
Oh, well, Umbreon actually
Hi
started
again.
back up. She started back up with her rune reading or casting.
Yeah, I used to carry runes with me all over the place. I had stones for a long time. Then I had somebody actually make me a set out of wood. That was pretty nice.
So, ladies, what are your experiences with runes?
I don't have any because I do my tarot.
Now, I had a
Like
really
tarot.
bad dream with my Aleister Crowley tarots when I had
Oh,
them.
Aleister Crowley was a huge creepazoid.
As soon as I had this, I was using them for a while, and then I had this really aggressive dream where I was really aggressive, and I was walking through the town. I grew up in Jamestown, and I looked up in the sky and I could see like large cards, the tarot cards, spinning around in the sky, and I was really angry every time I looked at them. So when I woke up, I just got rid of those cards. I was like, no, I'm not keeping those. I don't know if that was anything
A
more
lot
than
of
a
people
bad dream, but
A lot of people will say that tarot cards and other divination tools have a bit of a personality to them, even as mundane as they are. So maybe they just didn't like you. Also, runes, if I'm not mistaken, were something that in Norse mythology, what was it? Odin, he fought really hard to obtain them. So he prefers if his followers are the ones who utilize them.
really nice. But is there a little hole in them?
Yeah.
Why is the hole?
I don't know. It's just something with the wood, I guess.
Either that, or maybe you could use it like a necklace.
It's not a solid hole. It doesn't go all the way through. It's just something with the wood that they use.
What about you, Sam? What's your choice? Do you prefer runes? Do you prefer tarot?
There's also oracle cards too.
Or nothing at all.
I've done a little bit of rune reading with the Norse runes, a little bit. My last set of runes was actually stolen from me.
That's bad energy.
And I just haven't made myself another set yet because I haven't found a material that suits me. So that's kind of where I'm at. Because I did make my own set with these really nice bluish stones, and I just haven't found any material that suits my fancy.
That's
Now,
why
is
I
it-
bought the ones I did, because of the wood. I like the wood.
Now, is there a difference between them, or is it just kind of a personal preference?
Difference between what?
Like the wooden runes, the stones, what the material's made out of? Is it like a personal preference?
I'm not as experienced as you guys are, but I would say the difference is there's several different ways. Like when somebody makes them for you, you got their energy being put into them and their intentions, as opposed to being store bought is generally mass produced. So there's not a lot of energy attached to it other than when you start using it. Once you start using them, they become yours and they become more in tune with you. Now, as far as the materials go, I guess like wood types would have different energies to them, like the hawthorn trees and things like that would probably have more of a positive energy than say cedar or something.
Okay.
And different
Lady-
stones would definitely have different energies with them. Did I
Ladies,
come close?
do you agree? Is that
I mean,
Go ahead, Casey.
I mean, even with staff making and wand making, which I don't really dabble in, but I know a lot of different materials, stones, woods, different types of tree, all have their own metaphysical properties that can be associated with different things, even different deities. So I can see how runes made out of different materials would have different properties and different leanings in terms of the people who can use them.
so? It's basically what you want to do, or yours just a personal preference, I guess. Be like what matches your energy, just like with the stones.
Play.
Sam,
I don't do runes. I do my cards.
Sam, you were gonna say something.
It's upside down.
In my experience and in my research, I've always even when I was always taught that if you're gonna make something,
Mhm.
if you're gonna have a tool like a magical tool, you're better off just making it. That way, you don't get anybody else's energies messed up in with it,
Okay.
But now,
and it's more
over
personal
time,
to you.
don't you think that no matter who put the energies into it or whatever, or however you obtained it, over time it becomes yours and your energies take over it?
Eventually, but you have more of a personal connection to it if you make it yourself.
I chuckle because I see Matt change my
What
thing
happened?
on there.
So, Sam, you're saying if you make it, it's a lot better for usage.
Yes.
Okay. That's really cool.
It's like
So-
it's like buying a suit online versus getting fitted for a suit.
We're not going to talk about a suit.
I don't have preference. I can use stone or rock. It doesn't matter. It can be store bought or I can make it myself. If it's store bought though, and I did buy it at like a metaphysical store, and I know a lot of people have touched it
Mhm.
or touched the bag that it's in, I will cleanse it first and then put my energy to it, so that way it does become mine instead of having everybody else's residue on it.
Gotta mark your territory.
So, did you do that with?
Did you mark your territory on Matt?
No, Princess did. My spirit guide.
Switch that.
Okay, I couldn't resist.
It's like Buddy imprinted on me, she imprinted on him, so we can't get rid of either of them whether we try to or not.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask this then, ladies. If somebody wants to get involved or start reading runes or casting, as it's sometimes referred to, would store bought be okay to learn with?
Yes,
Yes. I mean,
because the store bought comes with a little booklet, at least mine did, or
Mhm.
tarot cards come with an actual book. But mine came with a little booklet that had all the meanings of the runes on it. So if you don't know how to read runes, it's actually really helpful to have that booklet.
Okay, so if you're doing,
glad they came with a booklet because I have a terrible memory. I will never personally remember what all these freaking cards mean because this is my whole deck. That's a lot of cards to remember.
so it's
Can't
okay
remember
then.
that.
You're saying store bought is okay for learning.
For learning and for like a starter, if you want to make your own after you get the starter pack or whatever you want to call it, you
Mhm.
can still keep that book if you're not going to remember all the runes, because I know when I was younger, before my runes magically disappeared, that I made out of a tree branch from our trees we have out here, I kept the packet that I had because I wasn't going to remember all the runes and I didn't want to look up like how to make them perfect. So I kept that little booklet so that way I had an image to help me make the ones that I was going to make.
Okay. Now, all that information though can be found, online on how to make them if people want to get crafty with it.
Look, I'm sure you can find websites
I'm sure
for it.
you can find websites and you can find YouTube tutorials on how to make
You
it.
can find
The internet
Pinterest
has
boards.
freaking every.
You can have Pinterest. You can find Pinterest boards dedicated to just handmade runes and tarot cards and oracle cards and.
I mean, if you really wanted to get crafty with it, you could go to Etsy and buy a pair or ask somebody to make you some.
You could probably find it on TikTok.
Yeah, you could find somebody on Witch Talk that would be more than willing to make it for you.
That's really
Can I just
cool.
say I like how in the camera here, we're like opposites with this. You're all dressed in light clothing with short hair, sitting in the light, and I'm back here in the corner in the shadows, all in my dark clothes
So
and my
my
long hair.
boyfriend that is sitting behind me, who just woke up, audio freak. He had a weird
Basically,
dream
that was
last
creepy.
night, and he wanted me to ask everybody's opinion on it.
Go for it.
It's perfectly natural. It'll take care of itself.
There is a cure.
Basically the thing basically the whole to sum it up, Faye taught humans the art of making candy and sweets to make the world a happy and a better place, but the government is trying to shut the whole thing down because they think that it's alien technology.
That's his
One
dream.
hell of a dream. Also, that's an interesting dream because most Celts and Irish say, if the fair folk offer you food, don't take it.
Crap.
Do not consume anything the Fae give you.
But
It's not just
We're all Fae
Fairy
stricken.
rings and
it's not
Yeah.
just Celtics, it's pagans in general. They would literally tell you do not commune with the Fae. It is a mistake.
Don't sleep in a mushroom ring. Nothing.
don't even go in one.
I have
Which-
yet to
Yeah,
find a
don't
mushroom
step
ring.
foot in one. Because if
I
you
have
step foot in a
found-
mushroom ring or a Fae territory at all, if they see you, they could just follow you home regardless of if you want them to or not.
Which,
So here's
by the way,
two things. Your dream, and I don't mean to cut you off, Matt. I
Yeah, you
don't
do.
think it's more than just you ate too many sweets, maybe. No, I don't think there's
That's a possibility
really
then.
anything to it unless you've been trying to talk to the Fae or something yourself, unless that's your purpose. If it was just a random dream, it's because you're surrounded by it.
He does not commune with the Fae. He is the tech crafter.
It sounds like just a
He's a
random dream.
computer nerd.
That was kind of neat.
Yeah, it could just be a random dream because he had like just one of those vivid dreams that you get one of these times that are just random, but you remember.
Now,
already had dreams where I was helping the winter court hang icicles. And when I woke up the next morning, I put them.
Now that brings me back to dreams. I don't know if I said this last time, typed it, or mentioned it about runes. And when I was younger, I had two friends. One killed the other and then committed suicide. And the day of their funeral, the next day I was going to go to their funeral. The night before, I was preparing runes of protection to put in their casket. I had a dream of the one that was killed came to me and was like, no, we don't need those. We're good. We're safe. And pretty much talked me out of putting them in their casket. So sometimes I wonder how real these dreams are and connected to what we do.
I mean, I've had dreams about my past life before.
There are a lot. I used to get into astral travel as an experiment. And one of the ways that you access the astral is through dreams.
I'm having a hard time hearing you, Sam. You guys too, or is it just
that was Casey. Casey sounds muffled. I think it's because
sorry.
Umbreon has the laptop on her lap.
Well, my father is also asleep in the room next door.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, we don't want to make Dad mad.
Yeah, no, because he's already angry at me for some unknown reason, so I'd prefer not to.
But
Well, we can always continue this as a part 3 if everybody's interested.
Well,
Yeah, I prefer if we do that because it's getting late and I'm really tired.
There was
One of these
one
days.
thing that I was gonna bring up. Have you guys ever heard of a such thing as a witch's circle, like a natural witch's circle?
Yes.
Because there's one somewhat local to where I'm at that I've been asked to go to a couple times. And I don't even know what to expect.
Protection, protection, protection.
I was
Uh,
gonna say it depends on what kind of natural witch's circle it is.
Here's the thing: a lot of these natural ones, some people, if somebody knows about it, other people do as well.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
don't
be
think it's a secret.
obviously, yeah. But I always say you never, just like with the spirits, you never know who or what has been there prior to you arriving. So safety measures always go in, fully protected. Now we'll talk about protection on another video on what we're actually talking about.
Well,
But
this,
This was
they
supposed to
talk
be a
about
family-friendly podcast.
yeah,
this.
Not
They're
that.
talking about time loss, almost teleportation type things, that kind of stuff involved with this place.
well, a lot of those that I've ran into, because I've been to a couple of Fey rings myself, mushroom rings. I've been to a Sprite ring, that was fun, and a couple of circles myself. And the EMF that you get from that, I can foresee that having some of those type of spells, if you will, if you excuse the pun. But you feel that energy, and it's borderline EMF poisoning. And Scott, you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
I've
But
been
yeah,
poisoned. It's not fun. It makes me feel tired as fuck.
and sometimes I found a lot of people, they almost pass out, so that sometimes can explain that time lapse.
Hmm.
So, but all right, guys. Well, we're gonna cut it.
Well, nice to meet you, Sam, and nice
Now-
seeing you two ladies again. And
Now, before you go, sir,
before I go, bye.
Sir.
See ya.
no, sir, everybody needs to needs to check Scott out. Let's see. I know I
Check
have
me
you
out.
somewhere. There you go. Check him out on Facebook, YouTube. You are still going live tomorrow, Scott?
Yes, actually, before I got on, I was confirming it with Alan Gee of
Okay.
Wisconsin Area Paranormal Society, WAPS. Him and his co-founder is going to be on my channel tomorrow at
Nice. And
8:30, 8:35, I believe it is.
are you sure this time?
No. And see, I planned on it being earlier, but I wasn't thinking about their time being an hour behind ours.
And the fact that I have to work.
Wow.
Well, all I have to say, Scott, is payback. That's the word of the day for tomorrow. Payback.
Well, these guys seem to be, well, Alan, anyways, I spoke with him for the last several years, and he seems to have the same kind of nature as we do. So, I mean, it could be a pretty entertaining show.
Well, then maybe I will get my setup ready. Then I'll watch just in case. But Scott, thank you for impromptu joining me.
Well, sorry,
Joining
ladies, that I crashed your
Party.
show here.
You didn't. Matt crashed it.
I know.
I crashed my own show.
He just, I told him that joke, and I seen him laughing. I was like, oh boy. Then next thing I know, ping, here's the invite.
What made it worse is it popped up down in the corner of my screen and then on my watch. So I saw it twice. And I went, I'm not letting you get away with that.
It was bad enough where I couldn't put it on YouTube. I
Mhm.
could have, but
No, not on my page.
inappropriate.
Not on my page.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you,
So
Scott.
I'll
And I'll
back
talk
out
to you
here.
tomorrow night.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
See you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott. All right, ladies. Before we go, you ladies want to promote anything? Say anything before we go?
No, I said the two things that I wanted to say, but I don't know if anybody heard them. But I have a TikTok and a Facebook, but they're
What are
not
they?
related to witchcraft. The Facebook is furry related, and the TikTok is just a bunch of random crap.
None of my online things are really witchcraft
But
related or paranormal.
How do they find you,
I
ladies?
try to keep the witchy stuff off of online, so that way we don't spark that way I don't spark a war.
I don't want a social media war.
Well,
I
that's
really,
kind
really
of
don't.
well. That's why, ladies, and if anybody's still watching this, even after an hour and 40 minutes, bravo. But I wanted you guys, and I want everybody to see that, you know, witchcraft, Wicca, is not what you guys see. Just like with the paranormal, it's not the stereotypical, the big nose, big hat, poison
the hatches
apple.
are big.
It's not Harry. It's not Harry Potter. It's not Dreamata. It's
These ladies,
and it's definitely not people sacrificing babies naked and rolling in the blood and chanting Satan's name.
Yeah,
Hell, even Satanists aren't that.
Yeah, I want everybody to see. I'm not saying you ladies are, the poster children for Wicca, but you would
I'm
know.
not even a Wiccan.
I really hope I'm not the poster child for Wicca. Please don't make me that.
But
I guess I am for our paranormal consultant page. I'm the poster child for Wicca on there.
Wait, still here. He's my partner. Yeah. By the way,
hi.
If you folks ever, if anybody wants any help with the paranormal, and you ask me for help, you can bet the bosses will be right there with me. But
I know probably just as much as he does, if not. I don't know as much about the paranormal because he's done it longer than I have, but I know quite a bit about death. I may have dissociative identity disorder, but death interests me a lot.
So, but anyway, Sam, anything you want to promote? Or say?
Not really. Like I don't have anything new up on my TikTok or my YouTube, because like I said to Scott, I'm in the home stretch of recovering from the COVID, so
yeah.
Hopefully, I'll be back to work soon. And yeah, it's the Rona is not fun. I'm still coughing. That's why if I was like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was muted for long periods of time. I was actually coughing really bad.
Well, I hope everybody in the comments, if you're watching this, please let's give a get well to Sam and hope for a speedy recovery, because it's not a fun time.
Not to stop it.
There you go.
TikTok blue.
Oh, I don't know. My phone.
Behind my butt.
It is.
Yeah.
See if I can find
Matt
it.
would know.
Turn my volume down. Skip ad.
No, that's Tumblr, not Tumblr.
Something that I just thought about that I wanted to ask you, Matt.
It is Blue the Wolf 23.
That one.
Is my
What's up?
TikTok.
Someplace that I wanted to visit, but I heard that you really shouldn't go there. It's like this. It's a dead zone triangle up near Williamsport, I think is where it's at.
I know what you're talking about. Well, wait a minute. You're not talking about the Witch's Triangle, are you?
I think that's what I haven't seen anything about it, but I saw something like a couple of years ago that's like, don't go here because it's a dead zone for phones. All electronics stop working. You'll get told to get out.
I think that's because there's a couple of there's this thing called Katie's Church. There's a couple of them around here, and then there's a couple of quote unquote witches triangles. That might be the one you're thinking of.
It's like in a dense wooden patch, and I think it is now technically private land. Last I heard about it, and it's supposed to be like a complete dead zone. I wish I could tell you more information.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I have a feeling that's what you're talking about. You're probably talking about one of the witches' triangles.
I've never been on a hunt, but I would like to. go on a hunt?
Well, there's actually one. There's actually a really good spot not too far from all of us that I would like to go live at. It's called St.
Ever play with
Mary's.
the angels in it?
Eehee.
I miss the angels. They were so nice.
Eehee. Except the one, she doesn't. She's mean. She doesn't like me. But anyway,
He's mean to you.
I just make her mad. But anyway, guys, ladies, I think it is time to wave the white flag. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining me. You guys have been awesome. But
You're not welcome.
I look like I'm tiny and resting on her shoulder.
yeah.
I like how you keep popping in and out, Casey.
So before we go, ladies, part 3.
Sure, I'm down.
I don't know when you're gonna do it, because if you're just planning on doing it next Friday, I'm not gonna be here.
Do it tomorrow. After Scott's.
God.
No. We'll figure that out. But all right, ladies. You two down below me. I will see you in a minute. Sam, thank you for joining me, and we'll talk more later.
You're welcome. No, I'm about to send you some stuff related to the circles that you were just talking about.
All right. Sounds good. Oh, she left. She left us alone. So, well, I was going to have you guys hang out with me through the end, but okay, this works too. But all right, Sam, well, I'll talk to you later. Get some rest, and I hope you feel better very, very, very soon.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Sounds good. Bye.
Bye.
Well, guys, Witching Hour Part 2 in the books. What a show. Almost a 2-hour mark. Ugh. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me, guys. I'm going to get out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Hopefully, you guys learned something. You had some fun. I know I had a blast. If you guys want a Witching Hour Part 3, please comment below or wherever you're commenting. Comment and let me know, and we'll set that up next week. Next week, apparently, we're having a rave, but it's being moved to right now. But anyway, next week, I haven't decided what I'm going to do. If the weather's nice, I might just do an on location. I might do an investigation next week. I also want to say before I leave, as most of you know, my aunt passed away this past week. And I wanted to say thank you, everybody, for all your support. It really, really means a lot to me and my family. This works too. But I just want to say next week, I'm not sure what my topic will be. I will figure that out and let you guys all know. So thank you guys so much for being here with me and with the ladies tonight. They had a good time, except I'm going to get hurt now. So right at the last second. Huh? So you guys have a rest. It's Friday night, guys. Enjoy it.
Have a good night and happy hauntings.
What she said. Have a good weekend, guys. We'll see you next week. Happy hauntings.